Chaos and bloodshed in Hong Kong district as hundreds of masked men assault protesters, journalists, residents.
Here's a summary of the article.
Hundreds of masked assailants dressed in white have assaulted residents, protesters, journalists and a lawmaker in Yuen Long, hours after an anti-extradition law march ended. The front accused the police of failing to take actions in Yuen Long while people were being attacked and instead, unnecessarily firing tear gas at protesters in Shengwan. Real thugs have attacked passers-by, a journalist and a lawmaker, badly injuring them, but the police have failed to enforce the law. This has angered us greatly, the statement read. A live video clip shows passengers on board a train screaming in fear as a group of armed men in white wave their rods at them at Yuen Long MTR station. The Hong Kong Journalists Association said a male reporter was beaten and left bleeding in his mouth. Police in riot gear arrived at Yuen Long Station at around 11:30 p.m. In a statement, a government spokesperson condemned the violent scenes. This is absolutely unacceptable to Hong Kong as a society that observes the rule of law. The SAR government strongly condemns any violence and will seriously take enforcement actions. Earlier, Yuen Long District Councillor To Ka Loon wrote in a Facebook post that he had received a complaint from a resident, who said he had called the police for help.
This post received a score of 86,574, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Do they really think it's not obvious or do they just not care?
Why would China care? Nobody is going to do anything about it. China will get a slap on the wrist and be told not to do that again, just like Russia with Crimea.
I see Beijing took notes from the Crimean annexation. What's that? Armed men? Nah, we don't know anything about them. They are operating independently.
They are just on vacation. God damn, this hits close to home. We in Ukraine, unfortunately, have a term for this.
Unrelated, I'm here in Ukraine right now. Much love to this country. Keep strong.
Hundreds of triad gangsters pro-Beijing dressed in white stormed around Yuen Long last night. The police ignored and leaving before the assault begins. Female reporter from Stand News being attacked, pregnant woman being attacked, other angle at 2 o'clock, other angle at 10:25 or -54 to 30. Pro-government triads randomly beating citizens in Yuen Long MTR, yet no police arrived on site 1 hour after citizens called 999 emergency line. Pro-government gangsters randomly beating PPL up in Yuen Long MTR. Live footage from pro-democratic Legislative Council member Mr. Lam Chuk Ting, 0 to 1637. White shirts, masked man gathered and attack people outside the platform gates. 21:08 approximately 25:00 white shirts assault people inside the train and then the police arrived at around 11:30 p.m. 1 minute after the assault ended and just after the white shirts masked men left. Police stations in Yuen Long closed while citizens were attacked. Police in Yuen Long refused to handle the issue and closed the gate, while the pro-government Legislative Council member Mr. Junius Ho Kwon Yiu congratulating and supporting these men. HK police let pro-government thugs away who then got on a vehicle with Chinese license plate. There was second attack in MTR Yung, it's very bloodshed.
I was looking into Junius Ho and apparently he called for Hong Kong independence activists to be killed 2 years ago. This is not the first time.
So I'm looking into him and how he is elected does not make sense. Hong Kong has functional constituencies that seem to be voting blocks based on professional trades. So, like a US House rep, but instead of representing a district he would represent all the lawyers in the state. So Junius Ho only was elected by 6,000 lawyers, and it seems a lot of them are from the Chinese mainland. I'm breaking down in my effectiveness on what I can research.
The LegCo is split into geographical and functional constituencies, 35 places each, while the latter is largely controlled by pro-China forces, and much of them are allegedly bribed. Ho was elected in the geographical constituencies, where voting machines exist as well. They are mainly seniors who don't even know who they're voting for or those who support the government because of their own interests.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.